back. Welcome to Pickle Knit. My name is Kelly. I am a New Jersey born and raised knitter, and this is episode 8. Yes, I'm mostly positive of that number right now. It is December the 10th today, and I'm getting in the Christmas kind of spirit. I've got a little nutcracker here to keep me company. Fun fact, I collect nutcrackers. I try to get at least one every year. I have a very large collection. I've not figured out where to display them in my new apartment yet, so this guy's just kind of hanging out here. The rest are still in a box, so I should figure that out. Anyway, welcome back, those of you who have watched before, or if you're new, welcome. So today I want to show you guys some works in progress that I've got on the needles, and by some I mean one, and a new finished object, and I'm going to talk about a fun giveaway that I found on my internet travels today, and I have one little acquisition to show you as well, so it's going to be fun. Okay, step 1. I'm going to show you a project I've referenced many times on this podcast and have not actually shown yet. It is a Christmas present. I don't think the person who's receiving it will be watching this, but just in case, I won't mention who's getting it. But I will show it to you because I keep mentioning it and it's kind of rude to just be like, I'm working on a thing and not show you the thing. Or at least that's what I think. Anyway, so this here is a bonfire blanket in progress. Hi. So this is a Tin Can Knits project. It is in their book Road Trip, which I highly recommend. That pattern book contains the Clayacot toque that I talked about in episodes like, I don't know, 1 through 3 or something. Made a bunch of those. The Clayacot cardigan, which a lot of people in Ravelry have made, very pretty. The antler toque, I believe, is in there. Maybe I'm wrong about that. This is in there. I'm working on another pattern from that book. It's a really great book. And you guys know I love Tin Can Knits. Their patterns are written for every size, pretty much, from like newborn to like 4XL, which is pretty great. So this pattern, mostly garter stitch, as you can see. And then there's this cable pattern, this cable panel, I should say, that runs the length. So you've got a little bit of a garter border, like a 3 or so inch garter border, and then you work this panel all the way up until you do another garter border, and then that's that. So this is going to be like a lap-sized blanket. It's obviously not super wide. What the pattern calls for is for you to do 8 repeats of the cable panel. It's like a 20-row repeat. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half done. I've been plugging away at this since September. It's kind of been in the background for at least a month. But it is a Christmas gift, so I kind of have to pick up the pace here and get this finished. It does call for a bulky weight yarn. I am using my Cascade ecological wool, which I talked about in the first episode or 2. Nice bulky yarn. It's a 100% Highland wool. There we go. It's got a little bit of a halo to it, which you can kind of see here. It's not like a crunchy wool, but it's not like the softest wool ever either, which is kind of a good thing because I don't think it'll pill as much as, say, like a merino would. And it's going to be a pretty sturdy wool, and so I think it's going to be a very successful heirloom piece. I think it'll hold up to the test of time. So I'm really looking forward to giving this gift. I think that the recipient's going to like it a lot. I think that, well, I know that the household it's going to, there tends to be a lot of arguing over blankets while everyone's sitting around watching TV or what have you, so I think that adding another blanket to the mix is a good idea. Take the pressure off. And I'm really loving this pattern. The cable panel is pretty intuitive. Once you have done it like twice, it's like it kind of makes sense. You know what the next row will involve without really having to look too closely. I'm just showing off this stitch pattern inside of the cables here. Isn't that fun? There's a name for that. Moss stitch? Seed stitch? It's something. Anyway, so this is my work in progress. I need to kind of put it on the front of the WIP list so I can get it done in time. Oh well. I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. If I sit down and do one whole cable panel at a time, then I can get it done in like 4 days. I really just have to do 2.5 of those. And then the garter stitch, a couple of inches of garter stitch in this gauge is not that many rows. It's pretty quick. These are size 15 needles. This is actually from my, what's the word I'm looking for? Interchangeable, there we go. It's from my interchangeable needle set that my grandmother gave me. I think I talked about that on episode like 1 or 2, something like that. Something that she just kind of had rattling around in a drawer, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I do want that, thank you. So this is size 15, and I think it's 40 inches long, because I've got, if you peek through here, I've got a connector attaching 2 cords. So that's this project. I have one little mistake early on. I doubt anyone will notice it, but I kind of want to point it out because I think it's a little bit funny. So it's actually the very first cable panel. Do you see that? Oops. Oh well. It's fine. It's a spontaneous design choice. It's fine. I kind of enjoy the way it looks from the back. Like obviously if you're doing like a cable something, there's like a right side and a wrong side. But I think the wrong side of this blanket looks pretty fun too. I'm hiding my face, you don't know who I am anymore. Anyway, I'm very happy with this project. It's been living in my awesome Rhinebeck tote bag because you need a big bag for such a big project, so that's where it's been living. Went to the hospital with me while I was waiting for my niece to be born. Good thing. So that's the primary WIP that I'm showing this week. I do have a couple other things on the needles. I did cast on my Advent shawl, which I talked about last time. Now obviously Advent shawl, that means that there's pieces to do every day of December. I did cast on December 2nd or 3rd, so I started a little behind. And I am still very behind. It is December the 10th and I am on day 2. Oops. So the Advent shawl is by Joanna Booth, and I know that I'm gonna love the finished product. The knitting so far has been a little bit frustrating, and that is because there have been a lot of edits to the pattern released. I believe I have version 5 now. And I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing. Designing is extremely difficult, and I can't imagine designing this with like 24 different sections and they're all different. Like, that's crazy. But she said that she only did 1 round of test knitting and 1 round of editing, and there were a lot of mistakes in the first version that I had. So day 1 had a number of errors that I was kind of just figuring out how to fix as I was going. And then I got the corrections for that like a day or 2 after I finished it. And day 2 had a mistake, and that was version 3 when I got the fix for that, and there's been like 2 more since then. It's probably got all the kinks worked out now, but I did get a little frustrated, and so I kind of set it aside. Day 2 also involves a lot of cabling, which is fine. I like cabling. I don't think I like cabling with a fingering weight yarn. I think it's a little flimsy feeling, but I'm gonna like the way it looks. I've seen like what day 2 should look like, and I'm gonna really enjoy that look. So I just kind of need to get over it and do it. I was hoping to keep pace with the days of the month, but that's clearly not going to happen because I have 2 large projects to finish for Christmas gifts, so oh well, maybe it'll be my New Year's shawl or something. But I'll show you what I have so far. I apologize, I'm doing the annoying thing where I'm like in the middle of a row, but again, I got frustrated, so I just sit down in the middle of a row. But what you start with is a garter tab cast on, which I did have to teach myself, and it wasn't as hard as I thought, but basically you cast on a couple of stitches, and as you're working back and forth, you pick up some stitches along the edge, which is what allows you to have this kind of like curve, this like point here. That wasn't so hard once I figured out what I was doing. And this first section here is diagonal lace is what she called it, and that's day 1, all in this like pink and cream and brown. This color here is a Lemonade Shop one of a kind mini that I picked up at Indie Untangled. I like it a lot. Let me get these colors in here a little closer. That's fun. It's too bad that it's a one of a kind colorway. She could have called this like Neapolitan ice cream, and like it's, I don't know, I just think it's very fun. And then I moved on for my day 2 yarn, which is connected right now. This is Barocco Ultra Alpaca, and it's in a nice silver color, left over from a hat I made my sister. So I was doing that next. I'm feeling like maybe I don't love the decision to go gray next, but whatever. I'll put something more strikingly, boldly different or something for the next section when I get there. Maybe I'll do a green next. I think that would be fun. I have another Lemonade Shop mini that I'm going to use for this project, which is a mini of her Hippo Disco colorway, which is really cute. And I've got a lot of like leftover bits that I can use for this project, so I'm really excited. I don't think I'll have 24 different yarns. Like, I don't think I can get all the way through without repeating colors, but that's fine. I'll just repeat colors, and that'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to getting further on in the project. Maybe today I'll finish up day 2, although I do need to be worrying about my Christmas knitting. Struggle is real, you guys. Apparently I have to go to work and like cook food and occasionally leave my house, and I'm not allowed to just like stay home and knit all day every day, which is whack. Anyway, so those are my whips for today. Gonna take a second to say yes, this is a Doctor Who mug. It's a TARDIS. It used to have a lid, but I broke the lid. I'm really sad about that. No. Anyway, so that's what's on the needles, and last night I finished a project, or it's like 99% done. But this one I've been talking about for a little bit, and this is my Go Team Go hat by Jill Zielinski. I have this debate with myself every episode. Anyway, so this is a Fly Eagles Fly hat. Yeah. Pop this on the old dome. Oop. Oh my god, why am I so bad at putting on a hat? Anyway, so this still needs to be blocked, and I intend to do a pom-pom in this gray color here, but ta-da! So this is for my father-in-law. He is a big Eagles fan. I know that he's going to appreciate this quite a bit. It's a fun one. The pattern was pretty quick, despite being a fingering weight hat, which obviously that's going to be slower than like a worsted weight hat would be, but really like how it came out. I know that I did have some tension issues. I'm hoping that those will block out. The cast off at the end, well, you don't really cast off. You decrease for the crown very quickly. It's 4 rounds of decreases. Usually decreases are a little more slow than that, or at least it'll be like 8 rounds instead of 4, because there'll be like a row of just knitting. But this is a very rapid decrease, and so after you decrease, you then pull the yarn tail through the live stitches rather than like binding off, which is not uncommon for hats. But between the really fast decrease and the like pulling tight at the end, it is kind of like bunched at the top, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Some of the tension in the color work is like, it's not fantastic. It's not terrible, but it's not fantastic. I was struggling a bit with this because I didn't have the right size circular needle. So I did the project on double pointed needles, and I have a harder time maintaining tension with double pointed needles than I do with circular needles, particularly since this was color work. That was a bit difficult. So if I were going back and doing it again, I would just go buy the circular needle. I was just being lazy and wanted to get started and finished, so I didn't get the needle. But I would have had a better experience knitting it if I had. So your mileage may vary. Maybe you're very comfortable doing color work on double pointeds. I just happen to not be. But it did come out very well. It pretty obviously says fly eagles fly, so that's good. Fly eagles fly. We're playing the Rams today, you guys, and I'm a little nervous. Anyway, I digress. But nice long brimmed fold up. These yarns again are Molly Girl Yarns Baseline, these two. This is Between Halloweens, and this is Stop Wondering, and then the white is just a Cascade 220 fingering. Yeah, I think he's really gonna love this, so looking forward to getting that to him. I need to block it, and I was gonna make a pom-pom in the gray. I've never made a pom-pom before, and I have pom-pom makers, and I was looking at them last night, and I feel like I'm very confused. I feel like the only pom-pom I can make, despite having 3 sizes, is an itty-bitty little pom-pom. I feel like there's something I'm just like not getting here. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look this up. Cat, no. She's scratching the carpet. Bad. Go away. Anyway, so I will watch a tutorial or something and figure out how to make a bigger pom-pom. But I think that'll really like complete it, is just having the silver pom-pom on top. That'll be like perfect. It'll tie the whole thing together. That'll be great. This pattern, when you purchase it, it also gives you instructions for a like a headband, like earband, ear warmer sort of thing, and a cowl. So it's for the price of one pattern, you get 3 options and the entire alphabet chart, so you can write whatever you want. So it's kind of like infinite patterns for the price of one pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a good deal. Highly recommended. So that's my FO for this week. My other projects are languishing a little bit. Obviously, look at my Advent shawl. Like my Blueberry Beach socks, I haven't touched those since like Rhinebeck. What else do I have on my needles? Oh, my other Christmas gift that is staying top secret on this podcast, that's chugging along. That's, I don't think I'm giving myself enough credit. If you look at my Ravelry page, I tend to, like every time I set down a project, I do tend to update my progress on the progress bar. I know some people go from like 0% to 100%. I do not. I check everything off along the way. And I think I'm giving myself credit for being like 45% done, and it's probably more like 65%. So I think I'm doing pretty well on that. So that'll be done in time for Christmas, I think. And that's it for my works in progress. What I want to tell you guys about now, I took some notes so that I wouldn't forget to tell you. So today I was just scrolling through Facebook, as one does, and I follow the Buffalo Wool Co. on Facebook, and you should too. I raved a lot about the Buffalo Wool Co. after Rhinebeck because I worked their stand. I volunteered. Molly, you know you're not supposed to do that. She's a bad cat. Anyway, and I fell in love with their buffalo yarn. It is awesome. Or, well, it's not buffalo, it's bison yarn. The difference between the two. Buffalo are like water buffalo, and then bison are the ones we have here in North America. Fun fact. Anyway, so the bison yarn, very soft, very sturdy, it doesn't pill, it doesn't felt, it's machine washable and dryable. It's good stuff. Extremely warm, moisture wicking, all that good stuff. It is also very pricey. So I did not treat myself to any of that while I was at Rhinebeck. Still kind of sad about it. But I follow them on Facebook, and they made a post about a giveaway they are doing with the Sheba guys, which is a giveaway for Stitches West. So Stitches West is a big, I'll say like, textile craft event, because I wouldn't say it's just knitting. It's sewing and quilting and crocheting and all that good stuff. But Stitches West has a big giveaway going on their website. You can win a $2,300 package to get admission to the event, 5 nights in a hotel, $500 towards travel costs, and the Sheba guys are like your like concierge for the whole thing, basically, which is really cool. So if you go to Stitches, I believe it's just stitches.com, you can find that giveaway. But then there's also a second prize, which is worth about $1,300, and that is a couple of crochet hook sets, an interchangeable needle set, a gigantic package of Buffalo Wool Co. yarn. It's 10 skeins of their, I think it's the Skies DK, which is a 50% merino, 50% bison blend, which is really nice. And you get, I believe it's 2 knitting lamps from Ottlight, and there's a bunch of goodies in there. There's a lot of good stuff in that package, and that's worth about $1,300. So you can enter to win either prize, or you can choose one of each. I'm still not explaining this right. You can enter just one, or you can enter both. There we go. But you only get to do one entry. I can't make it to Stitches West, even if they like paid for me to go there. I will probably have conferences that I need to do during those dates. So I entered just to win the big prize package of stuff. There was also a bunch of yarn from Webs that, like, it's an awesome package if you win it. So you should go enter to win that, and after you enter, you fill out the form. The next page, I took a screenshot of it so I wouldn't like forget about any of it. They give you a bunch of coupons. So you can get coupons for 25% off a purchase at Webs, which is yarn.com, 25% off at Ottlight. You can get 2 free patterns from the Sheba guys on their website, and 15% off at the Buffalo Wool Co.'s website. So I mean, if nothing else, you can just go get yourself some coupons and free patterns for entering. So you should definitely go hit up that giveaway, again, which is on the Stitches website, or how I found it was just by looking at the Buffalo Wool Co.'s Facebook, and just clicked straight from there over, entered. So you should go do that, and good luck. Although I don't want you to win, I want me to win. Sorry. You can win too. Anyway, if you win because I told you to enter, you have to split that yarn with me. Deal? Good. No, you don't. And I think, oh, no, I was gonna say I think that's all my news, but no, it's not. I have an acquisition. Where did I put it? And I have an acquisition that I'm like stupidly excited about. So I went and got my Christmas tree yesterday. Very exciting. I always do a real Christmas tree. It's kind of late in the game for me, but oh well. So I got my tree, and while we were buying that at the garden shop, they also had lots of Christmas ornaments for sale, and of course I was looking at all of those, and look what I found! Ha! So it's obviously not real yarn. It is a felt project, but look how cute. They had them in gray, red, and I think white, and I wanted them all, but I was like, I'm being ridiculous, I'm broke, and I should not be buying any ornaments because I have tons of them, but I just like couldn't not. So I love this. I took the tag off, so I don't know who the designer was, but my brain is telling me it was something like Catherine Handmade or something. I don't know. Google yarn ornament or something. So cute. I can tell from feeling it that it's like a foam ball underneath and then just like strips of felt on it. So you could totally do this yourself. I think that would be very tedious, cutting out all that felt and then just like gluing it. But you could totally do this yourself. It's an approachable craft. Look how cute though. You could also accomplish the same thing by getting one of these foam ball kind of things and just wrapping yarn around it and gluing strategically. That would be cute. I watched a little tutorial video that popped up on Facebook one time. Maybe it wasn't Facebook. Anyway, a small foam ball and wrap in yarn and then put in little like toothpicks to look like knitting needles, and it was really cute. So you could do something like that to trim your tree. So cute. Anyway, I have to put this back on my tree because I took it off of the tree so that I could show you guys, but obviously it has to go back on the tree. So this is a short one this week, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like what you see. You can reach me on Ravelry. I'm I'd Pickle That. You can follow me on Instagram, I'd Pickle That. You can comment down below. You can send smoke signals, owl post. Love you.